Okay, I'm gonna see if I can finish with this thing today. I've got my all my unions, fittings, and a new brake line for the or flex line for the rear. I want to do that because some of my other parts came for this truck here. I got a new battery pan, and I'm going to use it to fabricate my own auxiliary battery box since he didn't have any new or used. Bill's truck shop there, and wherever the hell in the east end of Toronto. And my mounts that I'll weld to the core support cane. I ended up buying a package because it was just I needed the bottom pieces here and the rubber bits. I didn't need the top part, but it was actually cheaper to just buy a package for $50 than it was to buy the rubbers and the bottoms separately. So go figure. Anyways, I'm gonna get to this truck so I can get that done tonight, and that would be what, Wednesday today, with the hope that maybe Thursday night I can resolve the core support issues with the bottom mounts, and once I do that, then I'll figure out my battery box mount. And I actually was thinking about it, and for the passenger side, the standard battery box, I was talking about welding in some new nuts over here. But the reality is, if I was just a little bit smarter, I would just modify the other battery box to extend the lip of the thing, since it only needs to come back over another inch. So do that way, and then I don't have to worry about building up this area or an area right up in here where where there is nothing to back it up with, where I'd actually literally have to build it up. On this side, well, we'll deal with it as well. I want to sort out the battery box, the auxiliary battery box, before I do anything, because obviously I'll be wanting to drill some holes in here, maybe weld in some nuts or something along that line for the auxiliary battery box. And this one it'll be coming in over about here for the mounts for that one. Yeah, it's going to be probably pretty tight, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that thing is the priority for today. Well, I'm sitting under the back of the truck here, looking at the rear axle, and Ford's incredibly brilliant idea to thread in the vent and use it to hold down the one end of the flex line. Brilliant idea, until it snaps off. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I cut it a little bit shorter, and I'm going to weld this back onto the axle, and I'm going to weld a bolt next to it to hold down the flex line, but that just frosts me, and I'm a little frustrated. So otherwise I would have been done by now. Anyways, I'll get to that. I got the welder all out here and ready to go, and a little nail to use as a guide to hold the line in place for welding. If it'll hold it in place, well, it'll keep it from falling out. It won't really hold it in place. Anyways, let's get this done. Okay, of course, after I weld the vent back on and weld a bolt onto the axle to retain the flex line there, it occurred to me, well, what you could have done is you could have just drilled and tapped the axle. Wouldn't have mattered. Who would have cared? I wouldn't have cared. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be doing some double flaring. Here's my line, and here is the best tool investment I ever made. It's a Napa version of the Max Cool hydraulic double flaring tool. It cost a few bucks, but it's probably the most worthwhile tool I've ever had. Does double flares really nicely. Damn well worth every penny it cost. Get one. Okay, so I didn't quite finish this thing. The hassle with the rear axle kind of screwed me up there. Anyways, I just have the hard line that goes from the ABS controller to the rear flex line left to do, and that I just need to bleed and fill and bleed the brakes. I'll show you guys tomorrow my pressure brake bleeder I made, and it's simple enough that anybody could make one, so might be interesting.